Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Coffee Corner. Today is your episode I can't remember at all. It's been so long since the last video and I really don't remember which episode we're on now. And I finally got Bob to sit down with me doing an episode, but I have no idea what to talk about. So I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about my life or my work, to be specific, how it has been and then how it has done to me, and this is why I haven't done any videos. So I've been so stressed at work that by the time I get home I just have no energy left. People have limited energy every day. If you use your energy towards one thing and that part of energy is gone, and then you don't have that for anything else. My energy is mainly consumed in class. I need that to pump my class and to make them interested in my class, because to be quite honest, the funny observation I have so far is how different people are when they have education and when not. This new group I have, they're mostly refugees. They don't have much of education back to their countries, so they have no idea how important education is, and they have no idea how to learn and why we're learning here. All they care is about answers. So I've said this many times in my class that this is not about getting right answers. If you are only here for correct answers, then might as well stay at home and use Google. Most of phones do a lot of things. You can use ChatGPT to learn language or any other tools you can use to learn language. You don't need me and you don't need to be here. In the class is not about getting the answers. In the class is about the process of learning and getting to know the importance of learning things and making mistakes and how to avoid those mistakes, how to not make the same mistake a second time. Sorry, I got very distracted. Bob, can you come here? Good job. Every day after school coming home, I already feel tired, exhausted. I don't want to talk because I've talked so much during the day in class, and I have to talk a lot with my toddler. And by the time I have my own time like this, I really just don't want to open my mouth and hear my own voice. That's how much I hate my voice and how much I hate talking. But the original purpose of doing this video is to improve my speaking. But now, because I've talked so much that I don't even care about my speaking. And the funny thing is I've realized that how much I cared about my accent in the last few years. And now I don't care at all. Nobody's going to come to me say, hey, your accent sucks and you can't teach a class, because a lot of my students actually came to me say, you're the best teacher I've ever had in my life. And I appreciate that. And I realized that accent is important, but not that important. If you are really capable and you are intelligible, people understand you. There's really no big deal if you have accent or not. It's about fluency and the ability of explaining things. So anyway, so that have struck me quite a while, and I realized how confident I am in my own language. So I hope we can all improve to the point that we really don't care and we only think about language as a tool, not as a language to show off. Anyway, so first thing, let me talk about what happened at work, and that has stressed me a lot. So first thing, this guy in my class, he thinks he knows a lot. He's Mr. Know-it-all. He always points his finger at me saying that, hey, this is wrong, this is right, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then he always tells me this is not true in Canada, because he's been living in Canada for 5 years and he's been working with white people for how many years, so he knows things. I said, sure. I've been in Canada long enough, and I've been around native speakers or non-native speakers long enough to know some of the common sense here. But I'm not going to argue with him just because I know if you argue with the dumb people, you're one of them and you can't win because they're more experienced than you are. So I said, forget about it. And I just try to avoid conflict or any confrontation with him. To one point, and one of the girls in my class came to me during break saying, "Hey teacher, that guy in our class that I don't know his name, but he got into a fight with the security guard." I was like, what? I was trying to have a normal Friday, and I actually planned to have a video on Friday, but again, you can never plan anything. And anyway, so I went out and I found out what happened. He was smoking on the school property, which you're not supposed to, but he was trying to argue that he was smoking in the car. And the security guard explained that even if you smoke in your car, you're still on a school property because this is a school parking lot. It doesn't matter if it's in your car, outside the car, or near a garbage can or anywhere. This is school property. You need to smoke 20 meters away from school property, not at the building. And he could not understand it, or he chose to not understand it, and he started to argue how disrespectful the security guard was, and he did not like that. And the funny thing is, when he explained things to me, he didn't even realize how disrespectful he was. He is very rude in the class, and I could tell some of my girls are not comfortable in the class with him, but he doesn't feel that way. So when we explained the whole thing to him, he was genuinely shocked. He couldn't believe it. And to the point I felt like maybe he has NPD or something, that he just doesn't understand how the whole world works. It's not about him, but he thinks it's about him, and he has to be the center of attention. So anyway, it shocked me that how you deal with the people, how you assume they know everything and they're trying to target you, and you take it personally, and turned out they don't care about you. They are just not aware of their own behaviors. And then that was one thing. And the second thing that happened, it threw me off for sure. I was doing a speaking test with students, and I normally recorded their speaking in a hallway. So that means it really requires a quiet environment out there, and then requires other students to cooperate. So this one guy came to my class, outside of my classroom, and started to peek through the window. And then the other teacher was trying to help me, say, "Hey, why are you here? Don't you see your teacher doing a test?" And then he walked away a little bit, but started to talk very loudly on the phone. And then I got a little bit irritated. So I got up to him and I said, "Hey, you need to talk somewhere else, or you need to lower your voice because you are interrupting my test." And he was so mad. He said I was looking for my wife. So that moment, that was my fault. When he asked about his wife, I said, "Okay, she's my student. Let me go have a look." I didn't even think twice. I just went to look for her, and she was not there. So I came back and said, "Your wife is not here." And he flipped, and he came to me. He pointed his finger at me saying, "You're the teacher. You should be responsible for her. And where is she? She should not go anywhere. She's a woman. She can't go anywhere without permission," and blah, blah. So it was all my fault, and women are not supposed to do things without permission. So I was like, "Hey, guy, you are talking to a really wrong person about that." So I said, "First of all, your wife is an adult. She has a free right to do anything she wants, and I can't hold her. I can't control her. And you too, you can't control her, and she can go anywhere she wants." And he was so mad and started to yell at me and this, that. And then eventually we got to call a security guard. And then the vice principal was here to help and trying to figure out what was going on. And this guy said we were harassing him, and then he called 911, which is like, good job. Thanks for doing that for us. So he called 911. It turned out he was drunk. In his religion, he's not supposed to drink, but he was drunk. He came to school and looking for his wife. So there is a slight possibility that he was going to hurt her. And I didn't realize that at the moment. When you're in that situation, it's hard to think clearly. There's always a fog over your brain. And then I'm thinking that I could have done something really bad to my student. I could have hurt my student by doing that. But I never thought about there could be domestic abuse, and then he could have hurt her. So I felt really bad about it. But then thinking back, I am not specially trained to deal with things like this. I'm just an ordinary English instructor, and I'm here to teach English language, not trying to save life. And I don't know why I had to deal with things like that. So, of course, I'm very stressed. Then, I don't know if you all know this, I have been volunteering at the Tesla Ontario blog, and I just took on a new position as a manager. I loved it. I think it's a challenge for me, of course. You get to do new things, you get to meet new people, and it's very interesting, but also a little bit stressful as well, especially when everything all happens at the same time. You just could not handle it. Okay, so we have a conference coming up, so everybody's busy with the conference. And we have 3 posts came in, ready to post. And then one person, she was occasional blogger administrator. So she was supposed to be in charge of this, and I emailed her about suggested dates, and she agreed on those dates. So I said, good. So I didn't want to be that kind of micromanager, be on your back all the time. And so I said, I trust you, so you go ahead, but please let me know if you need any help. I really offered because that was a lot to do. And I thought, if you couldn't do it, you just let me know. I could do it for you. I could do it myself. It's not so much for me. So I really offered, and then she said she would do it. Okay, no problem. We're supposed to have that out on Monday, and on Monday I didn't check because I had so much going on at school with those drama stuff. And then Tuesday I checked and nothing was there. I panicked because we're supposed to have that out for on Monday. So I emailed her, and then she said, I forgot. I said, okay, no problem. So we can do it on Wednesday. Then we're trying to get it out on Wednesday. And then she said, no problem. She'll be preparing for it. And on Wednesday, first thing in the morning, nothing. And then by the end of the day, I emailed her, I still couldn't find your post. What is going on? Do you need help? Let me know. And then she sent me an email without apology, just said that it's a lot for her to do and she can't do it. And in 2 seconds, she sent another email saying, I quit. So she really threw me under bus. And I was like, wow. And why didn't you tell me? I don't mind if you just told me that you couldn't do it, then I'll just do it for you. But I didn't want to be that kind of person that overstep and then just give you a feeling that you couldn't do your job. And I don't trust you. So I guess some people are very different, but this management role is very challenging. So I want to be a good boss, but not aggressive. So anyway, I didn't email her. I was so mad. And then I messaged the previous manager who stayed on to help me, which I really appreciate. So I said, this whole situation, and I can get it done and post it on Thursday, or what do you think? So she said maybe Friday, and we can have a meeting on Thursday, blah, blah. So I was really grateful. So we had a meeting on Thursday, and I talked about the whole situation, and I was just so happy. You know how making decision is difficult because you don't know what consequences you're going to get. Is that big? Is that small? Can you afford it? Those kind of things. You just have to make quick decision at that moment. And I was very happy about my decision at that moment. I said, okay, so we get it done. I can review and edit. I can put it up there and set up everything and ready to go for Friday. And that was good. And then I emailed my boss, and then he was concerned because he said, actually, I was going to email you about the post because we haven't seen that and what's going on. So I explained the whole thing without complaining about what was going on. You know what I mean? I really wanted to tell him what happened to me with that administrator, but I can't do that because if you do it, they don't want to listen to your saga. They only want to see the result. They don't care what happened between you two. They want to see if you can solve the problem. So I'm like trying to hold myself and not explode. And I said, okay, here's the thing. Here's what happened. Here's the solution. And here's her resignation email. And I think he got it, probably because this thing happened before and he understood. But he said, I'm glad that you are prioritizing the article for the conference. I said, no problem at all, anytime. And we made it happen. So everyone was happy. But that was quite a thing for me. I felt like that was like a crisis at the moment I had to go through, because there's so many people out there waiting for the article and you missed the deadline. It's not doing your homework, you miss the deadline, you can ask for extension. This is a very different. This is a professional. I'm just so happy I managed that. So see, that's a little achievement that can cheer me up. And then another bad thing happens, then you can manage that because you have saved up your positive energy for the negative things. But if negative things keep happening and you don't have enough positive energy, you're gonna explode. And that happens. And you should allow yourself to explode at the moment, but not in front of everyone, not in public, not in a very inappropriate way. You just have to manage your emotions, which is the sad thing about being an adult. So anyway, and then my toddler is going through the terrible two stage. Basically, he says no to anything, and he says no to whatever I do. He pretty much he's not happy about everything. So it makes life even more difficult, just because I feel like I can't get everything straight. I'm exhausted. And how am I going to do this video if I'm exhausted? My brain is just totally blank. I have no idea what I want to talk about. I have no idea how to talk about it. I can't even hear my own voice, my own language. It just, yeah, I don't even know what I was talking in this video. And to be quite honest, it's the fourth time I'm repeating whatever I said. I just gave up. So it's really going to be random. But I do want to get it. I can put it there and I feel better. So I was reading this article. I'm still not finishing up. I finished a lot of books, but not this one. I started a long time ago. Maybe you should talk to someone. So I'm on this chapter that she is talking about how she's supposed to get the book done, but she is not on the book and she doesn't even think about it, because thinking about it will drag her in a black hole with a panic, upset, and frustration, and she has to admit that she's not capable of writing a book. I feel the same thing. I don't want to do a video just because I know if I start to pick up all the gears and do it, I'm not going to have a good episode. And then I'll disappoint people and I'll disappoint myself. I can't even listen to my voice. But the more I think about it, the urgent I felt to do an episode, and the less I want to do it. If I feel like if I'm going to do it, I need to do it perfectly. If I can't do it perfectly, I'm not going to do it. But not doing it makes me feel guilty. And then I really don't want to touch it. So that's a whole thing. But that's my life. Emotional wise, I don't have, I'm being pretty, so here's the thing, when you have a lot of stress, you actually don't think too much about your emotions, like those teeny tiny things. You don't really self-reflect. You just keep going. It's doing a whack-a-mole. You have one problem, you smack, and another problem pops, you smack, and you just keep doing that. You don't think about things you did before. You don't think about how you feel. You just keep doing it. I think that's my life so far. But sometimes I enjoy it just because it shows my ability to handle things and shows me that I am a very capable person. Especially, I've been getting a lot of compliments in my class and how much they love my class, how much they love me, and they don't want to leave class for another teacher. Those kind of things makes me very happy. But again, I'm exhausted. I'm doing my best in the class. That leaves little energy for anything else, and all I want is to be quiet, read a book, and be myself. So that has been what's going on, and I don't even think I can speak proper language now. Anyway, I do want to keep the channel running, but it is very difficult for me to upload videos frequently. So I maybe once a month or something like that, I'll do my best. And today is the only time I'm really talking myself into this idea that you gotta talk about something and do it and upload it, and that's it. Whether you like it or not, at least I did it. So here is a takeaway. If you have something on your mind, do it. Don't think about, is that going to look good or bad? Don't think about being perfect. Don't think about the consequence. If this is the thing you think you should do, just do it. It might look ugly. Guess what? You did it. You should feel proud of yourself. If it ends up with the good results, then good for you, and you should be extra happy for yourself. Other than that, don't think too much. Just do it. Okay? So, anyway, take care. I'll see you next time. Like, really next time. I don't know when, but stay tuned. Bye.